What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today, what should I talk about today? Hmm, just a minute. Hmm, let me see if I have any particular topic for today. I mean, I definitely have titles. I have already made an entire list, in my Google Sheets. Uh, One title for every single video for every single day. But since last few days, I'm just talking about the books that I've been reading since last few days. These are kids books basically, and I'm also watching some of the videos related to these stories only, uh, just to understand the stories better. And in through other mediums, reading is one thing, and then if you watched the same thing, or if you watch something related to that particular reading, then also comprehension increases, and it is just to assimilate the vocabulary related to these stories, because every story, every idea has its own vocabulary as well. So this is how the more and more stories we know about, the more and more ideas we know about, topics we know about, concepts we know about, the more and more knowledge we have about something, the better our vocabulary becomes. Because once we know a lot about a variety of things, or even if we have basic understanding of a variety of things, so our vocabulary generally enhances. And this is something that is bound to happen. This is something that will happen, and this is how things happen. I mean, this is not just backed by science. This is backed by data as well. For example, let's say if I'm talking about archaeology is a field, right? Archaeology is what archaeology is basically related to, what related to the excavation. See, excavation, another word related to archaeology sort of thing, only related to history. Archaeology is basically excavating things, digging out, uh, you know a study of primitive things, basically a study of old things. That's what archaeology is all about, right? And there are n number of words related to this particular field. If you will read about archaeology, what you can do is you can do a simple Google search, or you can simply ask ChatGPT to tell you something related to archaeology. You can ask about what archaeology is all about, and just tell me in the most raw form possible, and then ChatGPT will tell you what archaeology is about. And if you can ask about the brief history of archaeology, on what exactly happens in archaeology, what an archaeologist does, so you will get to see a lot of words which you might not have ever heard of, right? And then, of course, you will get to know some new words, because they are specific to that particular field, archaeology only. Similarly, you can go for multiple other examples, if you talk about, let's say, human anatomy, right? So again, it is related to biology. So biology has its own terminology, like history has its own terminology. In biology also, there are various fields, there are various things. Human anatomy is there, and in our anatomy, in our body, there are various organs. Each and every single organ has its own name. There are n number of things to know and to learn related to each and every single organ, right? There are so many bones. Each and every single bone have got their names. And there are several muscles that we have, and each and every single muscle has its own specific name. Like our organs have got their own name, which most of the people might not be aware of. Because, see, if you don't have anything to do with a particular field, you won't be knowing. So this is what exactly I'm trying to say is, once you know, or once you, or simply put it, once you know about a lot of things, uh, a lot of ideas and a lot of concepts, or whatever you want to name it, your vocabulary automatically enhances without just running behind each and every single word. So okay, I will build, I look for these many number of words each and every single day. I learn 5 words every day, I learn 10 words every day, and I note them down in my notepad or something. I think that's a very impractical and non-sustainable way. Instead, we should learn more and more about various ideas, and not just random ideas. It may be related to your own profession, your field, your interest, whatever you are studying, related to that only. See, the basic English or basic language, if even if I don't talk about English but a language, there are some commonly used words which you must be aware of. If you are speaking that language on a very basic level, you will already be aware of those particular words and phrases. But when it comes to enhanced vocabulary, when it comes to knowing some more and more words and some better vocabulary, uh, our vocabulary generally enhances when our knowledge enhances. This is why you must have seen people who are so knowledgeable, their vocabulary is already so damn hi-fi, right? Because they know a lot about a lot of things in a particular language, and because they know about those things in a particular language, their vocabulary is bound to look so enhanced. So whenever they speak, you will come across a lot of words that you might not even have heard of, and then you will be like, oh, what does that mean? Oh, what does this particular word mean? Or what does this particular phrase mean? This is what happens. And as soon as I realized this thing, I also got into this thing that, okay, I'll also enhance my knowledge and enhance my knowledge related to various fields, but not every field, or not just any random field. Because see, there are a lot of things to know. You can't just end up spending your time on unnecessary things that you don't even care of, or they don't even contribute any significant or any direct value to your life. I mean, see, any everything. Some people might come up and say, "Oh, yeah, everything has some contribution." I also understand that. I agree to it. But what I'm saying is, everything has a contribution, but still, I'll focus on the things that focus significantly in my life, or at least I see a direct contribution of those things in my life. I'll focus on them first, right? Then each and everything becomes secondary for me. Yesterday I received this book, complete Chanakya Niti, authentic translation of Chanakya's thoughts with lucid commentary. I read a page or two yesterday uh, before sleeping, but now I will definitely give some good shot at this book, and I'll read. I'll definitely with Chanakya. We all know, how wise and how intelligent this guy was, and a great guide and mentor, uh, of whom Chandragupta Maurya, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so he was the chief mentor, or chief, what do you call it, chief guide, or whatever the right term is. I don't know. So Chanakya is very well considered to be one of the most intelligent persons to ever exist on this planet Earth so far. Right. So there is no harm. In fact, it's a privilege for us to have some of his wisdom right in front of us, which we can read and learn from. Okay, over 2 million copies sold is what it is written on this book, Complete Chanakya Niti, authentic translation of Chanakya's thoughts with lucid commentary, and it's of course in English, because whatever book I purchase, I will purchase in English only, because of course I don't want to lose my connection with English. I just want to be around English. I want English to be around me, so that we just continue to grow and grow. Of course, I continue to grow. English will anyways grow, because every now and then a lot of words are added to a language, and English is already very well known. The Britishers had already ruled the entire globe. That's why there was a popular saying that the sun never sets in British rule, right? That was the kind of occupancy they had in terms of ruling the entire world, all the countries, not literally all the countries, but most of the countries. So we all know, at some parts of our earth, uh, some countries get to see sunrise, at the same time some countries get to see sunset. This is how our space system works, right? The solar system works, the earth, the rotation and everything works. But the occupancy and the ruling was so widely spread of these Britishers, that the British rule never saw sunset. If here in one country there was a sunset, so in some other country ruled by Britishers there was a sunrise. All right, so I won't get too much into that thing. All right, so I'm only close to 10 minutes in this video. What shall I talk about other than this? uh, I read a couple more of books, or whatever. Whatever the correct way of putting it. Just a minute. Uh, uh, uh. Let me see what are the remaining books. And I daily feel like buying books. Although I don't read books that much, to be honest. Currently, I'm going through this book, Word Power Made Easy, by Norman Lewis, and a wonderful book. Honestly speaking, one special thing, one great thing about this book is, especially, first of all, let me tell you about this book. This book is based on vocabulary building. How can you build uh, exceptional vocabulary, right, in English language? So definitely, if you really want to enhance your vocabulary up to a significant level, you must go for this book. Why this sound? uh, I'll have to fix it. Anyways, I'll fix it after completing this video, but it's distracting me, it's disturbing me, yaar. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, one good thing about this book is not just the utility it provides, not just I don't know why some shaking or something in this video. I really don't know. Just a minute. I think there must be some problem. I hope everything is fine. I don't know. Just a minute. Just a minute, guys. Just a minute. Just a minute. Hold on. How the Americans say, hold on. Not just a minute. Hold on. Yeah, so I every day feel like buying book. Yeah, I was talking about this book, Word Power Made Easy. Yeah, so not just the utility or the purpose this book solves is the main thing, is the main highlight. Definitely, it's a great thing in itself. Another good thing is that this book not just comes up with very good quality of theory, very good quality of theory, but at the same time exercises sessions with each and every single chapter, and each and every single chapter is divided into further sessions. So with each and every single session there are multiple exercises to do. So those are sort of assessments. So once you go through those assessments, you learn things in a much better way. And I'm honestly speaking, I'm not even finished with the first chapter of this book. Just a minute. Yeah, I have gone through the overview of how to test your present vocabulary, and now how to start building your vocabulary. Yeah, so now I am in the third part, not the part, the third chapter, that is how to talk about personality types, sessions 1 to 3. This is the main practical stuff, that starts from the third uh, chapter, that is how to talk about personality types. So all the vocabulary related to personality types is what they have talked about in this particular chapter. There are 3 sessions. I'm already through 2 sessions, and honestly speaking, I have now uh, gotten this clarity of how words come in a language, in English especially. This book talks about etymology. Etymology is basically how the words originated in a language, what is the history of those words, and how so many words are related to a particular root only. So there is a root, and then there comes a lot of words which are related to that particular root. So just by knowing the root word, you get to know multiple other words. And once you know the root, and if you come across any new word, you will easily figure out the meaning of that particular word, even when you have never heard of that word earlier, or you have never come across of that word earlier while reading or doing anything. That is the kind of level this book has. So even if you're reading any word for the very first time, and if you know about the root word of that particular word, it died. Just a minute. uh, I'm really very sorry, guys. I think my mic got disconnected. Just now I got to realize this. uh, I really hope now you guys are able to hear me properly. So yeah, basically I was talking about, the way this book teaches you about the history of words. And it tells you about the etymology. Etymology talks about the origin of a word, and it basically talks about the root words. Once you know one root word, you know a lot of words related to that particular root word. So what happens is that even if you are reading a word for the very first time, or even if you are hearing one word, any word for the very first time, you have never heard of that word, you never came across of that word, but you know the root word, you won't have to check the meaning of that particular word in any dictionary, because you would already know the meaning of that particular word just by knowing the root word of that particular word. So just by knowing one root word, you automatically get to know multiple other words that originate from that root word. That is the level of this book, and this is how words originate in a language, especially in English language. I'm already in. I'm done with two sessions only so far, and now I'm in the third session. I'm not done with the exercise and assessment part, and I'm already feeling. I've already started to feel more and more confident related to vocabulary thing. And let me tell you, this is just the beginning of this word power made easy. Wonderful book. So definitely, I'm going through this book each and every single day, as much as I am able to. Chanakyaniti is something that I've already purchased, so I will definitely go through this slowly and gradually. And there are few other books that I've purchased, and they are on the way. I think this book is gonna come today, and this is Scientists and Inventors, World's Greatest Scientists and Inventors. I really wanted to know about them through reading, and it says the agent is nearby, the delivery agent is nearby, and I believe it might get delivered today itself. So I'll definitely read this book as well. And another book that I placed an order of yesterday, it is 108 bedtime stories. So now I have entered into fiction as well, I've entered into stories thing as well, because they are at least way more enjoyable than self-help. Of course, self-help is a different genre, not just genre, the self-help is a different category altogether. These are basically the courses, these are basically the teachings. Even this Chanakya Niti book is also a self-help book. The Scientist Investors is basically somewhat general knowledge related book. Bedtime stories again fiction story. I'm enjoying stories. Now I've got some decent collection of story books. One book is yet to come. So yeah, now I'm feeling much better. And it is generally said that if you read fiction, your language ability and comprehension and overall fluency of language increases. Definitely the spoken English also increases, but spoken English will increase only if you speak English on a daily basis, right? Otherwise, if you just continue to read only, then your reading comprehension will increase, or it will get enhanced, but not the speaking thing. In order to become a better speaker, you'll have to practice speaking. Why I speak on a daily basis? I speak on a daily basis just because I just want to get better and better and better and better and better, and one day probably the best in the life. Although I am already best, but it's just just to feel good. I'm saying this in just to feel good, right? So yeah, I don't know what I was talking about. So yeah, I have these 151 Akbar and Birbal stories. Birbal again, like I was talking about Chanakya. Birbal also, I don't know. Birbal was a real character or what? I don't know. Akbar was definitely a real character. He comes from history, all the Mughals and all. I don't know whether Birbal truly existed in the past or not. I really don't know. But Birbal is definitely positioned or portrayed as a very smart, very wise, very intelligent guy. And again, he was also the minister in the in the kingdom of Akbar, and he was again the chief mentor of Akbar. So yeah, definitely, 151 stories. I am already. Uh, I'm only 5 to 6 stories through in this book. So I'll definitely have to give some more time to this book. But I'm definitely reading one story book per day at least, out of these individual storybooks that I've already shown you. The yesterday I read the three Billy Goats, and I also watched a video related to the story, and I enjoyed it. It's a good story. It's a very short story. Some kid stories sound a bit illogical also sometimes, but again, they are made for kids, and it's okay. It's fine. I I accept that and I respect that. Accept that and respect that. There was, you know, there was an incident that happened in one of my very old previous jobs. When I mentioned this thing, I accept that, I respect that, I reject that, and it came out to be a joke or something. And me and my friends, whoever heard this thing out of my mouth, and they started not making fun of this thing, but they started enjoying their what is accept that, reject that, accept that, reject that, respect that. So whenever something would happen, they would always say, I accept that, no, I reject that, yeah, I respect that. So I just recalled that memory. All right, I think I'm already 21 minutes in this video. I didn't even realize it. I last realized it when it reached 10 minutes or so. All right, thank you so much, guys. I have something was of some use. I hope you got to learn something. I don't know. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to have one-on-one conversation with me, speaking practice session, you can definitely check out the links in the description and in the pinned comment. Both of them are same links, so you will reach the same destination no matter which link you click. And definitely you can have a one-on-one speaking conversation, one-on video call speaking practice session with me. And if you want to say anything else, leave that down into comments, and you also tell me what is your level of English, and what has your journey been in English so far. If you are focused on English, if enhancing your English is one of your goals, then of course you can tell me in the comments, or otherwise also you can tell me any damn thing, any damn thing in the comments. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.